probably shouldn't play too much more of that song. I know we all love New Gear Day, or in this instance, New Guitar Day. Today, I want to talk about the Epiphone 2020 Muse Les Paul style guitar. Epiphone Muse. Hopefully the light is not too distracting on that. I fell in love with the color of this thing, and I found out a cool little trick when I bought this at Guitar Center. So please stay tuned, and I'll play some stuff on here and talk about my feelings on that guitar and talk about why I have this set of strings that I mentioned in another video. And it's a pretty interesting little story. Here is the Epiphone Muse 2020 Les Paul style guitar. Oh, wait, hold on. New Guitar Day. I know why you're really here. You want to see these things just get ripped off, don't you? Get these things out of here. Look, this is so new. Look, should I do the next one with the volume up? Yep. It's, plastic. What am I going to do? Anyway, New Guitar Day. Now it's official. Clean pickups, sparkly Wanderlust. Wanderlust sparkle finish, something like that. Wanderlust. I know I should do more research, okay? I do know that when I was looking up the body of this thing, Guitar World magazine or the Guitar World website was talking about it being mahogany, but I believe it to be ekume. Ekume? Not mahogany? It's okume. Excuse me. And it's fine with me. For a sub $500 guitar that I got a really good deal on that I'm going to tell you about at the end of the video, I'm quite impressed with a lot about it. Now, there are things that are Epiphone and not Gibson. Of course, it's the newer headstock. It's their ProBucker pickups, their Alnico. It's chambered, so it's nice and lightweight, and it's a lot thinner than a Gibson. And of course, if I did any research, I would tell you the specs, but you can Google that and find it out for yourself. The Epiphone Muse Les Paul 2020. And I currently have it in my favorite Zeppelin song tuning, and that's... Okay, so that's the two pickups together, and the volume's like down pretty low on both pickups. Probably the neck at like 5 or 4 and the bridge at like 1. So if you pull up on this tone pot, it throws the phase relationship of the two pickups. It throws one of them out of phase compared to the other one. It doesn't do anything when it's in any of the single positions. And if you pull it out, it throws the two pickups out of phase. This is the only position where this switch does anything. And it now takes the phase relationships of these two pickups, it inverts one of them, and it cancels out some of the frequencies. So you get a little less low end, and you get a little bit more of a throaty, mid-rangey sound. And both of these pickups will split, and that can be done in conjunction with them being out of phase. So you get a lot of tonal options out of that configuration. One of my favorite setups is 2 volumes and 2 tones. I love my PRSs, and they have an amazing setup, but I don't really at the moment have any with the 2 and 2 lineup. I did have an S2 that I really enjoyed that, and that kind of was my gateway back to the Les Pauls. Really just stuck with PRS for a long time. Even their SEs and their S2 models are amazing, just phenomenal for what you pay. But I'm going to go ahead and say that this Epiphone is on par with that SE series, and that's probably the first time I've felt comfortable saying that in front of a camera and releasing it on YouTube. It really feels nice. There's no burrs. The frets, there was no buzzing at any of the spots. I made sure to play it at the store. This was my first outing since these times started. and I saw it on the wall and played it for a while. I had remembered watching a couple of videos. I believe the Trogley Guitar Show had a review of it, and he was pretty impressed by it, and so I wanted to check it out for myself. I've always wanted to mess around with the phase relationship of two pickups like this, and you can hear on that Zeppelin song, it really helps give it a bite. And I'm using a Friedman, just the original BEOD, and I love that pedal. Great pedal, and it's very touch sensitive as well. So these pickups react really well with a driven amp like that. I'm going to go ahead and tune back up to standard. So yeah, I'll be right back. So now I'm in slightly more comfortable territory. I know one song in that tuning. So here's an A chord, just the bridge pickup, full on. Now I should mention, I'm on my lead setting too, so my post boost is on. So I'm a little bit louder than I would be for rhythm playing, but it's good for me for lead, and it gives a better sense of how dynamic the pickups are to have kind of just that little bit more oomph. So that's like one, much more, and I'm off. Now I'll go ahead and bring in the bridge, the neck pickup now. Man, I had trouble with that. There they both are at one. I'll throw the neck out of into split coil mode. I'll bring that neck up a little bit. And I always like that on a Les Paul. If you have split options, if you have the bridge set up in the humbucker mode and then split that neck and then keep the bridge kind of quiet, like around 1 or 2, and you start to play with that neck noise. Tune. So here's kind of the same thing, but this time I'll split the bridge. Neck around 1 or 2. Now I'll start bringing up that bridge a little. I like that, but I like splitting the neck a little bit better and keeping the bridge in that humbucker mode. It just sounds a little more P90, a little more throaty. So if I throw that out of phase now, if I take that bridge, humbucker mode, neck, split coil mode, throw it out of phase, and bring it up a little bit more, bring that neck up. Now I'm going to bring up the humbucker of the bridge. Still out of phase. Now back in phase. back out of phase, back it down a little. So you see, there's just a ton of tonal options when you can split the pickups like that and you can throw this stuff out of phase. What this doesn't have that the actual Gibson Muse would have would be this, right, the bridge. That bridge tone knob, if you were to pull that up on the Gibson version of this, you would get a boost. And you would have a battery pack and all that kind of stuff. This does not have a battery. There's no built-in output boost or anything like that. I tend not to enjoy that on the guitar myself, so I kind of am glad that that's not on here. I am very impressed with this guitar. I'm really impressed with it. I'll get up a little bit more in the light and see if I can kind of get the sparkle to pop a little. I don't know if I will be able to. I can't plug in a monitor and use this camera without getting a terrible noise. But that's just a really nice looking guitar. One thing there is that's just traditional Epiphone to me, there's a little bit of paint that bleeds up under the binding from the body. That's just part of their thing. I don't see that usually with Gibson stuff, but you do see it with a lot of import guitars. I don't mind it. You see it when you're playing, but only if you're looking at it. If that bothers you, it's there. I love these clear knobs. They look great with the cream pickup rings. I'd probably change out these tuners, MGB tuners. Probably change these out and check out their 3x3s just to do it for this guitar. One of the reasons I really wanted to get this guitar, well, a couple of reasons that I wanted to get this guitar. I like playing my expensive guitars, but was always afraid that I was going to have something stolen. So having a $500 guitar that has this many tonal options I have not changed anything on my board. I got some delay, I've got my BEOD, I've got the full tone Fat Boost version 3 after that, and I'm running stereo into 2 Laneys here. I haven't changed anything through all of that this whole time. I'm going to stop talking about the guitar, I'm going to stop playing the guitar, and I'm going to tell you the main reason why I really ended up deciding that I would pick this up. When I was talking to the salesperson at Guitar Center, say what you want about Guitar Center, say it below in a comment, please, and also like, subscribe, click the bell, share the video. Say what you want about Guitar Center. If you go there and you find somebody that's friendly and is pretty knowledgeable, I recommend going and seeing that person all the time. There's been a couple of people that I've seen at Guitar Center over the number of years. One of them moved on and has his own place in Towson, Ryan Fowler. There's plenty of local stores that I also go to. If I go to Guitar Center, I tend to go to a couple of other local stores. Bill's Music is near me, a wonderful place, great people. And there's a place called Music Go Round that I really enjoy their company. The guys call me when they get great guitars. So thanks, Chris. Thanks, Gary. Thanks for the heads up all the time. But something that gave me the incentive to really get this, when the guy rang up the guitar, I asked him what kind of financing deal I would get on the Guitar Center card, as opposed to either paying outright for it or financing it through them with their card plan. Now, if you are familiar with their card, it's just like Best Buy and many other companies where they'll allow you certain time periods, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 18 months. And as long as you pay it off before that time comes up, you don't pay interest on it. Whatever that time period is, you have to pay it off before that. If you don't, they charge you all of the accrued earned interest, and boom, you have like a huge payment all of a sudden. So if you use a card like this, pay it off, pay it regularly, pay it every month, pay more than the minimum. And what drove me to buy this set of strings and this guitar at the same time was he rang it up, and Epiphone only offered 3-month financing on the guitar. And I just didn't feel like putting out that much money, you know, more than a couple $100 a month or around that, in order to really have this guitar quickly. So he said, hey, do you need strings? And I said, yeah, I do. I use Diodario's. He said, why don't you go grab a set of these D'Angelicos? And I said, okay. Any particular reason? He said, just go grab them. And so I went over, I found my gauge that I generally use, and like I do with everything, I dropped these. These are actually 9s. I'm going to use these on a different guitar. I'm not going to use them on these. And I'm not going to use these on this. And when he rang these strings up, it changed the entire plan of this and this together, and it then gave me 4 years to finance the guitar and the strings. So instead of having 3 months to pay, you know, close to $600, $500 and some odd dollars after tax here in Maryland, I would have had to pay, you know, money that I wasn't comfortable with for this kind of a guitar at the moment during these times. But to have 4 years to pay it off, thanks to this pack of strings, that gives me like a $15 payment on the card, something like that. There's probably a minimum that they're going to show me on my bill, and I'll pay more than that, and it really will be not much more than, you know, $15 to $20 or so, and a month, and that I will pay off much quicker than that. I'll be able to put more money towards it, which is something that I would recommend you do. Pay it off way early, especially when you have that long to do it. But the lesson is that what Guitar Center does is they will offer their financing deals based on the brand name. And so if the package that is being rung up contains just Epiphone, it gets just Epiphone's deal. But if it contains Epiphone and another product that has long-term financing available, they will make that package deal that you're bringing up the same financing deal that better financing term company offers. So I kind of cheated the system thanks to his little bit of advice. So I'm not going to mention his name. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. And I'm sure that if you were to go to a Guitar Center and talk to one of their knowledgeable people that is friendly and wants to talk to you, not a very busy person that really doesn't have the time, but somebody that has the time, if you are considerate and kind to them, you can probably expect a little bit of knowledge in return. And they really helped me out in deciding that, okay, this was definitely a guitar that I wanted to get. That helped me push it over the line. So thanks for celebrating New Guitar Day with me. The Epiphone Muse, the 2020, I'm enamored by it. I definitely am finding inspiration just playing it, and the variety of sounds that it offers. It's a cool guitar. I recommend checking it out. I recommend, if you use a credit card, you do it effectively. Pay it regularly. Do not get into any sort of trouble with it. Nobody wants that kind of trouble. And their cards are actually designed to kind of help you get the gear you need. I think, yes, that's their quote. I don't know. This is not an endorsed video. I picked this up all on my own, and I just wanted to share the knowledge of the buying experience there at Guitar Center, how helpful they were, and how impressed I was by this Epiphone. And hopefully you are as well. It sounds killer, and I've really enjoyed playing it.